something is happening out there. There is a rejection of the political class going on in this country in a way that has not been seen in modern times. I can't let down those millions of people. So I am going to stand in this election. I'll be launching my candidacy at midday tomorrow in the Essex seaside town of Clacton.
And Nigel Farage is back, and as usual he is totally unapologetic about what he's saying. I watched an interview where he was talking about the Tories' new national service plan and how it's a joke, and that Sunak is the shittiest leader that there's ever been. A lawyer or something like that, and he was fighting for open borders and to get people free shit when they get over the borders. I think that's him. I'm sure it is. If I can recall correctly from the interview that I watched, it was also a race baiting thing.
And I want to give you the opportunity to be clear, because everything you've just said suggests that the Reform platform for this election is every problem you face is down to immigrants and in particular to Muslims. Is that really what you're saying?
No, actually, most people aren't yet affected by this because the areas with anti-British values tend to be geographically, at the moment, very tightly concentrated. But they do pose a problem.
But you're not resiling from blaming that community.
I'm blaming elements of that community. I'm not blaming them, I'm stating a fact. All I'm doing is stating a fact. No one else dares tell the truth about this.
Okay, so then they had an argument up and down about it being Nigel Farage's fault that the immigration has gone through the roof because of the fact that he got out of the European Union, which is ridiculous because basically what happened is Boris Johnson went and opened the borders basically. I think in 2021 again there was a huge influx of people. He even allowed students to bring along dependents, like your mom. That's a nice retirement for them, I must admit.
Yeah, I do. I think that Nigel will help people. Like I was reading these policies, like with the boost the wages, it will help. He's on about health costs too and stuff like that. Like I haven't seen a dentist for 5 or 6 years because there's no dentist around here and stuff. And I think he will help. He would help it out. And I think if you don't vote for him, I seriously think if you don't vote for him to be Clacton, all the housing, I think everything else in our area, I think he will help. I think he will help it and he will make it better. And Nigel's not just here for. He's got all the older voters, not being rude, but he'll have the younger ones.
But in this conversation, he basically said to this guy, we must grow up. We don't have any more room, which is something I don't think any politician dares to say. There is no more room. And that is logical, but it's so controversial to say something like that.
Well, the country's dying, isn't it? I'm an Englishman in England, and I don't feel like I'm an Englishman in England. Let's have it right. And I'm not afraid to say so.
What do you feel like?
I'm fed up with it. I feel like a foreigner in my own country. That's what I feel like. And do you think that's fair?
Tell me why. Why do you feel that way?
Well, because we're surrounded by foreigners. That's why.
Here?
Not in Clacton. Why do you think everyone's moving out of London to move to seaside towns? Do you think they want to? Trevor Phillips, the black politician, yeah? He said about people moving out. So is he racist? Is he wrong?
They're not thinking logically at the moment. And Nigel Farage is straightforward, he's logical, he's intelligent, and he's got a very good chance of winning. Because I think people are tired. I mean, this is why people like Tommy Robertson, once again, gets marches with hundreds of thousands of people in the streets of London, you know, and then they downplay it and they act like there was like 1,000 or 2,000 people, you know, the media or the government parties, you know, but everybody knows, they can see the volume of people that come to these marches. And they're not racist. They're just people that want their country back, you know. If you want mass migration, he says, you need to vote Conservative or Labour. Doesn't matter, because they haven't got any competition. The one's policy is just as bad as the other one's policy. So Conservative and Labour don't want to even debate the issue of immigration because it's too controversial. So Nigel Farage, I'm hoping that you come back, and I'm hoping you do well. And what he might do is, he might, with Brexit, the Brexit party, he might just basically split up the vote so badly that they have to merge. But it doesn't sound like he's going away. It looks like he's going for it this time.
The post office scandal and the blood scandal, you know, it just proves that all the governments that have been in for the last 20 odd years have been corrupt. They've turned a blind eye to things that should have been sorted out. And he says, hopefully, him and Richard Tice have said they're going to sort things out. It's not going to be immediate. We're not stupid. It's not going to turn overnight, but at least it'd be some sort of, start to changing our country.
There are three offers here on the side of the bus: slash immigration, slash the cost of living crisis, and boost wages. They're eerily similar policies to what Rishi Sunak is offering. So why is it that Nigel Farage seems to be more popular?
Well, Nigel basically came forward, like he is, straightforward, and said Muslims are not integrating into the British values and the British way of thinking. And he gave the poll numbers. He said that 46% of young people are supporting of Hamas. So let's not mix the two up. It's not that they are supporting Palestine and the people that are being killed unnecessarily, which we all totally agree is a shit show and shouldn't be happening, but they are supporters of Hamas themselves, so which is problematic, because we're trying to get rid of Hamas. We just don't want people to die while they're doing that. So, I mean, everybody understands that concept. So then he gets into this argument about how it's racist for him to say this, the guy interviewing Nigel, and basically what he says to him is, from a West Indians, because this guy's from the West Indian, he says that you can speak, who from West Indies cannot speak English? And the guy says, well, all of us can speak English. He says, yes, exactly. I can take you to streets in Eldon where people don't speak a word of English or understand a word of English. Now, think of that. You have people in your country, large numbers of people in your country, that can't even understand your language. The same problem that America's experiencing with people who only understand Spanish and not English. So you have that sort of same relationship going on there. The leaders that the young people are voting for don't stand for the same values, or actually stand against the values that of the British people, which is why people like Tommy Robinson is doing so well and the young people at the moment.
We live here. This is the inheritance and patrimony of the English. I want them to hear the word. It's the forbidden word. England. England!